Yes, we are now live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Slam Jam Wrestling Show here on the Extreme Improv Extreme YouTube channel, as well as the Slam Jam YouTube channel. I forget what the Too Sweet. I can't remember what we did for this. Yeah, I can't remember. Anyway, let's play the credits.
We're locked in the cage, it's the Slam Jam Show. We're dynamite, you better feel alive. We're better than you, and you know it. Yeah. If you don't like it, we got two words for you. Slam Jam, Slam Jam. Feel the power, feel the roar. Slam Jam, it's the smackdown you've been waiting for. You can't see us, Chico, you've been serving hot time. Ooh, yeah. Slam Jam, and that's the bottom line. Slam Jam, now it's a Slam Jam wrestling show. We're life, the girl, it's the big show. You got no chance when you're unforget. That's the risk, that's the worst. If you smell what we're cooking, it's a Slam Jam wrestling show. The champion's here. Snap into a Slam Jam. The Slam Jam show. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know. It's the Slam Jam show. Real blast, whooping ass. It's the Slam Jam F1 show of you. Yeah.
And we are
Real
live.
glass.
Yes, absolutely. Real glass, real glass. Guys, have we seen Dynamite and stuff from yesterday?
Slightly, it's been Glass City all this week in wrestling generally, isn't it?
Yeah, there's been a lot of glass going about. Although, I've only seen highlights of Dynamite. I haven't seen the full thing. But here's the thing, right? So, apparently, the real glass wasn't glass. It was fake glass on Dynamite. Good for them, right? Because, yeah, someone's going to take a photo and then you'll see that it's not real. It doesn't need to be real, guys. Come on. It's glass. It doesn't need to be a real, like, nail spike in the back and stuff like this. So,
Yeah, apparently it wasn't real glass. It was on the windshield that Drew McIntyre got slammed onto the other day as well.
It
but
couldn't have
apparently
been.
That got in his eyes, so he apparently did get hurt.
now, I don't believe that really hurt him. I don't believe
really?
it was real glass. I don't believe he was hurt. The whole point of CM Punk walking past, like, Punk will never let that situation go. He will get in as many references and everything to it that he possibly can for the rest of time. What's up with my camera? And yeah, so they probably just did that as like, wouldn't this be funny? Because I think they were in England for that show, right? Were they in England? Yeah. That was SmackDown. Was that SmackDown last week?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That feels ages ago now. Yeah, literally, that was less than a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's all kinds of stuff happening in the world of professional wrestling. I want to hear what's on the mind of you, Gav, and you, Dave, but we should start with the intro. Gav, say hello to the people.
Hello, people. I'm not going to ask how you're doing because I can't hear you.
But
But
can you see
can leave
them?
it in the comments.
Yes. Yeah, because did you see the thing that John Cena's hat? It no longer has the no smoking sign. I don't know what they call this. It now has the actual C on top of it, meaning that
That's
you
right.
can see him because now he's a heel. And that is the extent of what his... I think if he wins the world title, that he's going to have a slight gimmick change. I think it'll happen once he becomes champion. But anyway, Dave, say hello to the people.
Hello, people. I don't know about you, but I was taken a bit back, not just by the slight remixing of the lyrics of the intro, but also the sudden start of the intro.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa!
Well, it's actually, like the intro for a long time, it's got like that slow start, and I told you it was really long. I've just never played the full thing. This was the second half of it, so I just like sliced it in half so that we could play it. But yeah, guys, what's been on our minds? It is officially Rusev Day once again.
Yeah.
Is it official? I've not seen. I've already seen people saying, "Oh, it's rumored that he's coming back," and
I've seen that he's actually signed, but
I-
there's been one or two.
I think it's probably true. They haven't announced it. I can't imagine they're going to bring him in before WrestleMania. The night after WrestleMania, it will be Rusev Day, though.
Yeah. Would it be Lana Day as well?
Probably, yeah. You know, but that's a whole like dodgy situation. Like since they left, they went to AEW, they got divorced. They had Lana make him look like a fool on TV again. Never resolved it. And apparently they're back together, and when they're back in WWE, their lives will be complete again.
Well, everyone's coming back apparently now, because apparently Malachi Black's coming back as well as some mysterious vignettes for him as well, which I haven't actually seen because I've not been watching very on too much. But Phoenix is debuting on Friday SmackDown.
Friday, yeah.
Against Andrade, if the rumours are true.
Against just debut.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
I imagine it's going to be against Andrade. If that was the rumour, it makes sense because they'll speak the same language really well. And Andrade knows how to keep the match a WWE style.
Yeah, that didn't help Sin Cara when he was put against Alberto Del Rio, though, did it?
Do you know what? That was one of the few times, like, the problem with Alberto Del Rio, and there are many, but...
I must say, the problem singular.
Yeah. See, the problem was, like, that... I never particularly enjoyed all of what he did, but that was one of the few times I was actually like, yeah, go on, Alberto. Because, like, Sin Cara was just, like, waving his hand. He's like, I can't wrestle, like, my pink is dislocated. Yeah. And Alberto was probably like, this is our moment, like, to do something. You can't, like, tap out of this match because of a finger. Can you remember anyone else just being like, I've hurt my finger and not finishing a match? No, so that's like the one time where I'll give it to Del Rio, but yeah. Guys, yeah, let's. Have we seen SmackDown from last week? Have we seen Raw? Where are we up to? Okay,
I watched Dynamite this morning, but that's about it.
Okay, so you've not seen. Wait, haven't you seen like Cody and Cena and Punk and all that? Oh, Dave, there's been some good promo work. Where it may not be where the best wrestle. But there has been some good promos.
I've seen bits here and there. I saw like highlights from O2 Raw, little bits of highlights here and there. But as soon as I heard the words "New Church Republic," I sort of switched off a little bit.
Yeah,
that fucking thing's terrible. But,
1 second.
Tyler Bates got short hair again, which is thankfully.
Yes. Dev, hello.
Hello.
How you doing, Dev?
Pretty good, you guys?
Good, yeah. Dev, we were just celebrating because it's Rusev Day again.
Is he married again yet, or are they still divorced?
Oh no, I think they're married again. Yeah, they're back together. Yeah. Right. Well,
what have you been watching, Dev? Because we've been talking about how the fact that I've not watched Raw or SmackDown, but have watched Impact, Dynamite.
I've watched Raw and SmackDown. I never watched Dynamite, but I did watch Collision.
Wow. I have not seen Collision in a year and a half, 2 years.
That's a good match, isn't it?
No, I've seen... Yeah, go on.
The only reason I knew about Collision was because Dan told everyone on the Eve Discord to watch Collision.
Why? So what happened?
Jamie Ato was in it.
Right.
Who said it?
Dan Reed.
Oh, Dan Reed. Oh, no, yeah.
The owner of Pro Wrestling Eve told everyone to watch Collision because Jamie Ato was on it. And
do you know what? I'm not going to lie. That doesn't convince me to watch that show.
Yeah.
Right. What we can let's get into some of like the big stuff. Let's get some of the big stuff out of the way. We'll divert to some other things along the way. But we are literally, are we 2 Raws away from WrestleMania? Is there even?
Yeah, we are.
We're this close. Yeah. So
yeah.
If you haven't seen Raw from this week, my highlight of it was absolutely Big Jimmy Uso versus Gunther, and it wasn't a very long match, but they used the segment really well because Gunther obliterated him afterwards. Jey Uso came down, and this was the first time I've been invested in this match in the whole build-up. Right, so what, Gav, you not feeling it? Oh, okay, I haven't felt it the whole time. I'm not interested in Jey Uso.
Do you know what? I like Jey Uso, but that segment, I don't know what, it didn't connect with me. It did not connect. I know you're supposed to be feeling really sorry for him, and you're like, I don't know whether it's because Jimmy's a wrestler as well himself.
Yeah.
So when he's getting battered, and like he's actually got to give him a bit of credit. I've got to give Jay a bit of credit because he did shout out John, which is Jimmy's real name.
Oh, yeah,
So
I'd missed that detail.
Yeah, that was good, but I didn't get the whole. Oh, I'm really concerned and like.
Well, like, okay, so like, look, the thing that got me so invested in it is Gunther was like tasting his blood and everything, right? Now this, now for Dynamite and all that, this is how you use ultra violence in a really meaningful way. Because you're building up to the world title match at WrestleMania. Gunther, along the way, he comes out in a suit. He's got a bit of snark, but he speaks respectfully. And suddenly he just went like psycho. He was attacking people. And it's just like, yeah, we're building up to a WrestleMania world title match. So I felt that this finally made this feud actually take center stage on Raw. Go on, Dev.
But yeah.
Well, okay, fair play. Go on, Dev. You had your hand up.
See okay, so the botch severely damaged Jay's credibility, like the tripping severely damaged his credibility.
I don't think that was the tripping. I think. What do you mean? It was to dive over the top rope. He top dollared it.
No. When he did the spear, but he kind of fell on his face.
Yeah, that too.
That's a planned spot.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. But the flop dollar one wasn't, was it? Clearly. Let's see if we can find that.
I want them. Okay, so I wanted them to have be like Jay be the invisible one and Jimmy the one in the shadows, like Luigi to Mario. But like by showing like Jay making all these mistakes, Jimmy looks like the stronger one now for some reason. Because like he stood up to Gunther, he slapped him in the face. Like Jay didn't do that. Jay wouldn't do that, and it's weird.
Well, look what happened to Jimmy.
Shifted. And going to that as well, that reminded me of like every 80s movie where the villain like harms either their best friend or relative, like Rocky 3, or
if he dies, he dies.
Yeah, like Rocky 3 or Karate Kid or something.
Or Double Dragon.
I like Double Dragon.
It's good.
Oh, God, do I not have like the force field? Okay, let me just try this. It might be the Geek Battle one. No, I don't have the. Oh, it says Geek Battle. Do I not have the force field? God damn it! I've got the old one. This is so hard to see anything like.
So you had it.
No, it's no good. Right, well, I'll just put it up for a second because we need some. That is so you can't see jack shit. Right, okay, let's see what you can see though. So, this was the flop dollar moment. This is where people were like, why is this guy, in WrestleMania? That probably lost in the main event. Just when we rewind it here. Oh, come on.
When was this from, though? Was this from this week?
This from 2 weeks ago. Or maybe 3 weeks ago. He just... And literally, what happened, which was quite funny, is on the SmackDown the same week, Jimmy Uso then did the same spot and got it right. It was quite fun. That was fun between two brothers, obviously. So...
Yeah.
That's unfortunate,
These things happen.
Yeah.
And then, so I think that happened, and then they purposely, like you said, it was a spot that because he's not confident or whatever going into the main event, We'll see what they do in the last 2 weeks, because like surely Uso needs to be out to. This is now personal. That that's what it needed. He decided to go for Gunther's world title. And it was just like, Uso, no one wanted you in the main event, but now they've made it personal, because what was there between them before this? I feel like they've added something now, at least.
There's a little bit more story arc to it now, anyway. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dev?
One thing I did like from this week was NXT, right? Jordan Grace's spot where he threw the guy over the top rope, and he went flying for like 5 miles.
Yeah, I laughed my head off when that happened. It was hilarious. It's proper like you know that sort of superhero movies when someone just sort of like Superman just throws someone against like flying against a building and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's like that. So just picking this guy up and throwing him over the top. He just went so much further than you expected him to go. It was so funny.
It reminded me of Jazz from Fresh Prince when he was trying out for another house.
Uncle Phil.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I vaguely know what you mean. Okay, look, I don't have the overlay. God damn it. I just won't be able to show shit. Right, guys.
The Geek Battle one.
Yeah, the Geek Battle one. It's because I'm not on damn Geek Battle. But it doesn't matter. It's fine.
Also in NXT, I quite like the fact that obviously there was a slight interesting ending with Ricky Saints, not Starks, winning the NXT North American title, which means that Sean Spears had it for less than a month. So that's a definition of a transitional champion. But also when they did the whole thing that happening, then having Ethan Page attacking Ricky Starks at the end as well. Ricky Saints, sorry, at the end, and the crowd started chanting "Tony fumbled."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny, but like, where I'll give, I don't think Ricky Saints is proven yet in NXT. I don't think this is a proof because arguably what he's done in NXT, he'd done just as interesting things in AEW so far. They haven't made him a star yet, so I don't think this is proof that he's fumbled. Like with Cody Rhodes, you can say he fumbled because that's now he's main eventing every WrestleMania since he left AEW, basically, except for the first one, obviously. Go on, Dev.
See, I enjoy the AEW North American title run so far, but because so far everyone who's held it has been in AEW. But what I didn't like, what I hated, was that they stripped Stephanie McCare of her title. Why can't it be a double champion?
Why?
Because they don't like
No
the idea
idea.
of a double champion. They did that with Keith Lee years ago, didn't they? He had the NXT and the North American men's titles, and he just vacated it after he won the.
Well, why ever they did this with the Ultimate Warrior? Why ever book anyone to win 2 titles?
Because, like, the thing is, you probably need the title, the lower championship, to actually move on. And, like, you can't actually pin. It wouldn't look good for the top champion to be pinned by the lower card kind of thing.
Yeah, no,
So,
that's fair.
Champion.
I think it's a bit weird that they're doing now, though, that they are putting that title, women's North American title, back in contention and doing it in a 6-woman ladder match again, which is how they crown the first champion. Not only that, but it's also another ladder match. So we're not thinking of another way of doing this. You could have done I don't know, what's that match they have where they got to beat the clock, or they got to beat the timing, the scramble match.
Yeah.
That's it. What was it called that they do at the beginning of the year where they've got to crown a contender? They've got to they enter a different. I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, that
Elimination Chamber?
Yeah.
No, not Chambers. When they're all coming, the 2 start, and then the others all come in at different points, and it's whoever has the most amount of falls at the end of the time period, 25 minutes or something. Done that on it. It's been an NXT exclusive, but they've done that every January for the last couple of times, and I've just have that match or have something just different. Why does it have to be a ladder match again?
Yeah. People like ladder matches, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel a bit bad for the wrestlers, It's just like have to come
Speaking
up
of
with
ladder
another
matches, did you hear they're trying to get back the TLC as a reunion or something? They're trying to do a TLC reunion.
Oh, what, the Dudleys and the Hardys?
Yeah, Dudley's, Hardys, and Edge and Christian.
Yeah, well, Edge and Christian ain't going to do it. Unless they do it in some, like, shitty indie show that no one cares about. How can they book that?
Edge ain't going to do a ladder match, is it?
Because Matt and Bubba are pushing for Edge and Christian to join as well, but I don't know how they're going to do it.
I mean, this is just like the interesting thing. Like I think we were saying about it like last week with should Tony Khan let Lex Luger have Sting induct him into the Hall of Fame? We're in a weird point now, whereas like years ago we'd be like, we need to see Austin versus Goldberg when people are in their prime. Now we kind of want retired wrestlers to have one more chance to do these things that we haven't quite seen yet, or like some last reunion. And that's interesting because the people we still want to see are the people from the Attitude Era, like just have that last thing happen again. But yeah, I can't see that that's going to happen.
Is that because of us actually living through that era? because I'll be interested to see if a younger fan would be interested. I'm not too sure.
I think that, I kind of think they would, because like from WWE, like if you get any of their programs or their annuals or their magazines or their sticker albums, it's always got like Razor Ramon and Bret Hart and the Big Boss Man in it.
Yeah.
They keep selling us this stuff to make these people still feel relevant, and because generally speaking they were better characters, and that's why, not all of them, but the ones that have lasted through time for a reason, and so there's a reason why we're still interested in them. And then on the AEW side, and I don't blame Tony Khan for this at all, but he's a fan as well, so that's why we keep seeing people from the past pop up here and there. And so that's why there probably is a real true element that the new generation can never fully become stars, because the old generation still are on everyone's minds.
I guess that leads into then now together forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Dev?
First of all, no one was a superstar during the New Generation era.
Who was?
No one was a superstar during New Generation. 95, there were no stars.
Yes, there were. Shawn Michaels.
Diesel, The Undertaker, Bret Hart. There was loads.
Yeah.
Well, they were never made then. They exist.
When counts as when you were made? Was Austin? Do you count Austin as an Attitude Era? Because I remember him vividly as stunning Steve Austin in WCW. Yeah, well, exactly. But he wasn't made during that. He exists. That's when Shawn Michaels became world champion. That's when Diesel became world champion.
Austin became Stone Cold Steve Austin in the 316 speech during the New Generation period. That was very much New Generation.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he just did that and the Attitude Era started. It was about a good year and a bit before that really started again.
Huh.
New Generation is around about WrestleMania 10. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, pun aside, the equivalent, the new 2025 equivalent of big stars like Bret Hart and stuff would be like Roman Reigns, Cody, and like Seth. Would be basically the new 2002 class.
The 2002 class. Wait, the 2002 class is Batista, Cena, Brock,
Orton,
Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Rico.
Yeah, Brock, Shelton.
Rico. Yeah, oh yeah, Shelton. Okay, so here's the thing, because you often hear about that, like that OVW year, that at the same time, Cena, Batista, Orton, and Lesnar, all there at the same time. Shelton Benjamin was there at the same time. He's obviously not quite, he hasn't made it to the same level. He's got all the talent of them. Who else was from that same era, that same ilk? Anyone else? There has to be someone else where it's like a could have been or a never was. Who else was there?
Yeah,
Who?
Yeah, Matt Morgan.
Yeah, Matt Morgan. He had a little run in TNA years later, didn't he?
Yeah.
How about Mark Jindrak?
Yeah.
Jindrak. See, I always see Jindrak as just a bit before this, because he was in WCW.
They come in and sort of did that thing. I remember people off the top of the head that were in that sort of like OVW thing, because they would obviously, they'd get reported on quite a lot. You'd hear these names like Leviathan or Prototype, which ended up being Batista and Cena, on like the listings, the news listings and results and things like that. I'm sort of blasé, they said Rico Constantino, but that was what it was cool. But then he became Rico. He was a talented guy, and considering how everyone was going when he came back in AEW, did the little cameo last year. Everyone's saying, "Oh my god, he looks so amazing for like 60-something, whatever his age was." There, you think about that, 60 and something. That means that he was in his mid-30s when he actually joined OVW in that class. So he was actually older than most of the wrestlers at that
Rico
point.
was a cop, right?
Yeah, he was a police officer for a long time.
There you go.
Before that. And it was good. Wasn't there a guy I kept seeing the name of, and I think he had some dark matches but didn't make it on TV, so I'm going to call Ron H2O Waterman. I think that was the guy that was on there. I didn't remember his name being popping out.
Gosh. Okay, I've just found a list, and there is a couple that are noteworthy. So obviously I said who was there. That's literally what I was about to say. So Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin, obviously.
Yeah.
Rico Constantino, Rob Conway. It didn't work for me. Nick Dinsmore. How about that?
Yeah.
It makes sense
Eugene.
because they brought Eugene was huge at first, and it kind of just trailed off really quick. Matt Morgan, Johnny Jeter or Jeter.
One of the guys from Serious Squad.
Johnny.
Oh, okay. Danny Basham, Johnny Nitro. Johnny Nitro joined. He was from Tough Enough or something, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Hennigan.
Yeah. Okay.
And me and him were viral like last year.
You and him went viral.
Yes.
What did you do,
There's
Jeff?
there's a video of him using my frame to beat up Jack Evans.
Oh my god, I need to find that. Okay.
Was that in progress?
Yes.
I've seen that match. I don't remember this bit. What happened?
It's I have a walking frame for my disability, and
Well,
basically,
Dev, what name is he using at the moment, so I can look this up?
Johnny Progress.
Okay, Progress. Oh yeah, of course it would be.
Johnny Progress, but yeah, exactly.
And if you type in Johnny Progress walking aid, and it should show up.
Okay, let's see what we've got. I don't think this is him. Okay, I'll keep looking, but I haven't found it so far.
Yeah.
Oh,
So far, all I've got is someone learning to walk in high heels on a treadmill. I don't think this is what we want. Okay, go on. Have you got? Can you get the link somewhere?
I think so. Oh yeah, this is it. This is it. I've just I've seen you mention back there. They're right there, Deb. Actually, I'll just. How do I do this? Do I put it over to you in the?
If you, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I'll share it to the group chat and see if you can put it in the link there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's this is great for the audio listeners.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. It's riveting. Well, let's talk more about, like, look, guys, last week, so far we've been discussing Johnny Jeter and the Spirit Squad more than we've been discussing Seth freaking Rollins, Roman, and Punk. Who...
That it deserves, isn't it?
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think anything's going to happen?
Do I think what?
Anything's going to happen with that match? Like,
What?
It's got to be more than just the match, right?
The favour is the big question mark. The favour has to. Now you speculate that somehow it'll end up, because I think you said this last week and you put it in our chat earlier, that somehow, I just don't know if you can change the advertised John Cena versus Cody Rhodes match last minute like that. Now obviously Seth cashing in on Brock and Roman all those years ago did change that match. You know, could they do it? But or would people feel like you know the absolute main event of WrestleMania got changed on the night? Okay, go on, Dev.
See, I have this weird like scenario in my head. It may be too for booked or whatever. Like Cena wins and he jumps over the barricade, does a kiss, and then you look behind him and see CM Punk, and he says, "I'm catching my favor," and then there's Cena and Punk match for the title for the main event.
But then what? That makes John Cena look like an absolute mook if he just loses the title the same night.
Yeah, send that fans on happy. Let Cena have a reason to continue his "I'm a heel" blah 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 thing.
I just don't know. Like I think you could do that at some point later. You could like do this little Cena. Why would Cena even go over the barricade? He wasn't running off anywhere.
No, because he said he's leaving with his title.
Oh, did he? That what he's going to take the. But I assumed that meant that he's leaving when his contract ends.
Right, that's what I was going to say.
Okay, hang on 1 second. I found this moment as well. Hopefully this won't get flagged. Oh, actually, I did get a nice Geek Battle gentle, so we can actually see what's going on still.
Yeah, there's Dev.
There's Dev.
Okay. Wait, is he going to launch it into you? Because if that isn't... Yeah, I was going to say, that's going to fly up. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you get a new one?
Nah.
You should have got him to, like, sign it or something.
Yeah.
Nah.
Johnny, if you're watching, you can sign it.
So
let's go
what
for
what
it.
did he
Let's
say
go
to you
for it.
just
Let's
before
go
that
for it.
happened, Dev?
He's like, just hold on to it, so like it like softens the blow. He like whispered to me, hold on to it, so it softens the blow, and like
Okay.
lift it when it hits.
He
Like,
told you to lift it when it hits.
Yeah,
Wait, so did he say this just before, or did he speak to you like earlier
yeah.
in the
No,
night?
he whispered it.
Okay,
No, he
that's
whispered
cool.
before
That's
it,
cool.
yeah.
Hey guys, Maven here.
No, that's really awesome. That's
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's good.
Speaking of Maven, he did a video recently about Just Incredible, how Just Incredible made all these bookings and no showed them. And he was going to confront them about it.
Wow. Well, do you know, like, indie promoters and that probably just need to learn if people do that you shouldn't book them or whatever. But what's Maven going to get, you know, from Just Incredible these days? Like, are they building to a match?
Yeah.
Where are you going with that?
No idea. But a lot of wrestlers now do like YouTube shows. Like I know Stevie Richards does one, and like Maven has been doing it for a while.
Does a what show?
Like podcast,
Oh, yeah,
On
every
YouTube.
wrestler has a podcast now.
including Stephanie.
Yeah, Stephanie's got a pod. I haven't even listened to that yet.
I saw the
I'm
scene.
not watching that show.
No, I'm not fussed about that.
Stephanie, what's it called? Stephanie's Places, or
Places,
something.
yeah,
Stephanie's Place. Ugh.
yeah.
Okay, so do you know what? Let's check in from where we were at last week. The lineup for WrestleMania is a little bit more developed. Let's bring it up on the screen here. So we're now confirmed. Apparently, night one will have Orton versus Owens. I missed wherever they confirmed that was for night one. Roman, CM Punk, Seth, main event. Night two, Cody, Cena. And now we do have AJ Styles versus Logan Paul confirmed. That's going to be a good match.
It will be, yeah.
It's going to be a really good
because-
match. They're going to pull out some... The only problem is, because it's WrestleMania, we're going to have some idiot dressed as a Prime bottle come out that AJ's going to phenomenal forearm.
Did you see what happened on Raw?
Which part?
When Logan hit his move? I forgot what it's called.
The pulverizer.
Pulverizer.
Yeah.
That AJ took that brilliantly.
AJ's one of the best sellers, though, so...
That was brilliant.
It's a move that only a certain amount of people are going to be able to take anyway. It's done it to Ray Mysterio and did it to AJ. It's been about it. I think, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Not many people probably do that very well too, but I don't know. I just go completely off on anything involving Logan Paul. But not saying he's not good at what he's been doing and things like that, but I have no reason to care about him.
Yeah.
I'm an old man. I have no reason to care about him. So.
Well, yeah. See, like I did not know who he was before he got involved in wrestling. Other than the fact that he'd fought Floyd Mayweather, so that's it was like okay, so he's the YouTuber guy that fought like does the celebrity boxing or whatever. But I can't deny it. I can't deny he's really good in terms of what he does. Now he may be coached. I don't know. Do you think they're still coaching him on every match? Because he hasn't had enough matches for this surely to be second nature yet.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
I'll give him credit though. He did save Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see Mysterio's response to that? He wasn't pleased with that
I'll
one.
say.
Yeah. But yeah, so we've got... They still are saying EO versus Bianca Belair. Unofficially, they're not even on Wikipedia listing Rhea as being in that match for some reason.
I called it last week on the show, did I not? WDQ.
Yeah.
That match. No, I didn't even think for a second that Bianca was actually going to be the special guest ref. So I did see some bits of Raw. Didn't know what's the important bits, but
Yeah. But we're officially up to 7 matches announced for WrestleMania. Just a couple of weeks
that's
out.
a whole one night. Woohoo!
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I think I confirmed that like Stone Cold will be on Cody's side.
Wait, so
like-
in what way was this confirmed?
Stone Cold was like, basically, Stone Cold will be at the WWE World signing thingy,
Yeah.
and he was saying, if you need it, I have your back. To Cody.
Yeah,
Hall of
but
Fame as well, isn't he? So.
now, yeah, he'll be at the Hall of Fame because Bret Hart versus Steve Austin is going to be in the Hall of Fame. which is it's just going to be so interesting to see what other matches, and are they going to get a ring for this?
Yeah, well, I
It's
think so.
to me that's kind of crazy. It's just like how many how many fingers does Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker and Bret Hart and people like this need, because they're going to have all of these rings.
I
Like
want one of them to pull Thanos.
to pull a Thanos. Yeah.
They'll have 5 rings.
Yeah. Okay. Any other thoughts on? We keep skipping past like the main event stuff going into it. Let's talk SmackDown last week. Punk, Seth, Roman. Now the big moment from this was them announcing that this would close the show, and Paul Heyman having this really tender moment with CM Punk right in front of Roman. Punk then acknowledging his tribal chief, tongue in cheek, but then dropping the bombshell that this isn't the favour.
Yeah.
So the favour is not forgotten, it's still going to be in play. Now, we mentioned a little bit earlier, Gav, your theory is that somehow this will get into Punk getting into the main event the next night. I don't know, how is it said that Heyman would have that power so that his favour would do that for Punk, whereas he couldn't then just say, "Oh, Roman, I'm putting you in the main event on night 2." Go on, Dev.
I can answer that. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Paul Heyman, the former general manager of SmackDown, and that
That's a long
affords
time
me
ago.
some capabilities.
Oh, that's a long time. When was he the general manager? Like 2002?
Probably.
Or 2005? Something like this. It's a very long time.
A stroke or something like that to do something. He's got to have something on someone or something. I don't know. Or Roman might have, like, I don't know, if Roman's got something in his contract to say.
A rematch?
A rematch, right.
Roman has never had a rematch after losing.
Right.
Ooh.
So what if Punk used that rematch instead?
How could a rematch be transferable?
Don't know.
That's an
Look,
interesting
Liam-
point.
I'm pretty sure that the New York lawyer that Paul Heyman is, I'm sure she'll be able to work something out.
They're cool, Paul.
That's the most logical way I think that they could do that.
So, say Roman seems like he's injured after night 1.
Right.
And then on night 2, Cena's in the ring, Cody's in the ring, Heyman walks out, and he's like, "My client," or well, he's not his client, is he? He's his.
Yeah.
What is he? What is he to him? He's his wise man.
My BFF.
Yeah, exactly. So if Heyman is Roman's wise man, what is Roman to Heyman? Because
His tribal chief.
oh yeah, his tribal chief. Yeah, so my tribal chief was due a rematch, and he never got one after losing to Cody a year ago. And everyone's going to think that Roman's going to come out. But as Roman is injured, a replacement... I don't know, it feels a big stretch. I prefer the idea that it's the Mr. Fuji thing, where Brett is just like, take it.
Yeah. The stupidest decision in the history of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I was there saying, as a kid, I loved it. As a kid. Going back as an adult now, I'm just like, oh, that was so dumb.
It was so dumb. Yeah. I don't know
Yeah,
that
I'm
it's
still-
the dumbest. I don't know that it's the dumbest. There has to be.
Sheamus and Daniel Bryan.
The what?
No, I mean, when I say decision, I don't mean booking decision. I mean in terms of the decision of the character of Mr.
Yeah.
Fuji to challenge Hulk Hogan. That's what I mean by the dumbest decision.
Yeah,
Don't
Yoko.
just buy an on-screen thing.
Yeah, just won the world title.
There's plenty of worse or just as bad booking decisions.
Well, actually, I can tell you something. Perhaps it's not quite as bad, but another really dumb thing done by a character. Cody Rhodes voluntarily offering in AEW, "If I can't beat you for the world title, Chris Jericho, I'll never challenge for it for again." Jericho could say, "That's the only way I'll give you a match." Cody offered it and then lost. You know, there's certain things you don't need to do yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. But see, Tony Khan needed to do that because everybody was like, Cody was winning the title out of nepotism or something.
Well, then if we do come on to Raw this week, John Cena, it was literally calling him a nepo baby, or perhaps Cody was trying to self-acknowledge some of these things himself.
I love that line because I make empires for billionaires. You take money from their kids.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Yeah.
That was really good. So he steals money from their kids.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good line. That was, and what was it? He was like, WWE. You know, obviously there was the big F-bomb a few weeks ago with The Rock, and that was on a pay-per-view. Was that on a pay-per-view? It was the pay-per-view, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So, you know, look, I don't mean to sound like Kathy Bates in Misery here, but the coarse use of language, it's, you know, it's not very noble. So, but I did like they're using it a lot. But he's like, you've got more dick on that mic than you've got in your jorts, or something like this.
Yeah.
That was a good line. That was a good line. A well placed.
Very
Yeah.
good promo. I think this promo was probably the best.
It was
And it's
Cena's
probably because
best
it's
since
been-
turning heel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because this is the last one that they're together on
Is it?
officially.
What?
I don't think Cena's on for the next couple of weeks, is he?
That's really stupid.
So
Oh, they need to do it. I saw like a graphic. I didn't think it was accurate because I couldn't find it confirmed anywhere. Is The Rock coming back before Mania?
personally, I was there thinking that he needs to, but at the same time, I don't want him to.
I want him to.
I think it'll lead into more intrigue going into WrestleMania if he didn't appear until WrestleMania itself.
Do you know something from last year though? Is that obviously The Rock? It was going to be that he's going to face Roman, and then everything that happened, and from where it was just him and Roman, and it's going to be like, oh, we're going to have a match, and you're my cousin, to how they had to change, and The Rock became a heel. Everything they did, to me, that match last year was more about Cody versus Rock than it was anything to do with like Roman or like the world champion felt somewhat secondary there. Yeah. And I was just like, you know, when it came to the match, The Rock did like 4 moves on loop for like in an hour like tag match, and he went an hour. Kudos to him. But the build up to it, I was just like, man, there is no one that's in this industry that's still at your level to get the intrigue, to get the talking, and just like he pushed it. And I think he could still do it. I think when they were doing Cena versus Rock 10 years ago, Rock absolutely outclassed Cena at almost every point other than he caught him with the writing on the wrist. Yeah. And I think Rock still is light years ahead of Cena because Cena turned heel, and until this week, I felt he had fumbled. Like the first couple of weeks of Cena being heel didn't work for me.
You know what?
Go on.
And again, Cena did touch on it. I think that he was held back. I think, again, with the protection of Cody, he mentioned it. Cody's protected. And I think that Cena was not allowed to talk. Because, again, Cena normally comes in and disarms everyone, doesn't he? Normally. Yeah. So he always goes into their character, like, that they're not shifting things and what have you. But, yeah, I don't know. Just, it feels like he was not allowed to do that. So.
Yeah, possibly. Go on, Dev.
See, the weird theory I have is the WWE is so scared of a heel Cena, they don't know how to book a heel Cena. That's why he always says stuff like, "I'm not doing it. I'm not giving you what you want. I'm half-assing it on purpose to be the heel." When in fact, they just don't want to fully pull the trigger because heel Cena may flop or may do too much damage to Cody by being too character assassination, basically.
Yeah. Well, they need to be careful with that kind of thing, because even on the promo on Raw, at the end, after Cena went to leave... Well, okay, so give me your thought on this. Cena went to leave, he'd had his moment, And then Cody got to Cena by saying, they've never chanted, you can't wrestle, right? Then Cena dashed into the ring, and he did start to stir, but he got like kind of knocked out by a single crossroads. And yes, it's a finisher, but he was fresh. It shouldn't have knocked him out for that much.
No,
Shouldn't have. But also, the ironic thing was, Cena did the move really sloppily. He didn't sell it well. Like, he went into it really... It looks like Cena is seizing up slowly, because it wasn't fluid at all. And it's like, wow, he can't wrestle. You know? Which was the ironic thing. Go on, Dev.
There was one that Seth Rollins took that looked like he was flying.
What, a Crossroads?
Crossroads, yeah.
Can't remember that.
It looks like he was like caught in like a washing machine. And like he's literally spun in midair. It's like the best sell I've ever the second best sell I've ever seen. The first best sell was
You got
the security guard on the run of SmackDown who spun out of the ring.
Yeah, I saw that. I remember that one.
Well, that's the
was
best
brilliant.
sell you've ever seen.
Of the Crossroads.
Yeah.
Oh, the Crossroads. I was going to say. Right, I was like, Dolph Ziggler somewhere is just like crying. Right, guys, I just want to show you this bit from, I assume it's from NXT this week, because I haven't seen like the full thing. I just want your opinion on this. Okay, so have you seen this, Dave, or if you mentioned NXT? So, it's interesting, but like... I mean, I kind of like that in a sense, but he's got his Sean Spears like doing an old school, and like, why wasn't Spears fighting back? This is why Starks needs to be in NXT. You can't get away with, like, it's funny, but you can't quite get away with that in logic.
Mate, it's wrestling.
It's wrestling. Yeah.
There's no logic to a lot of moves.
Look,
why didn't more people pull the Undertaker down from the top rope when he was doing that to them?
Shut up.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. But Undertaker wasn't like putting kisses on people's heads.
I mean,
It's like he got him in an arm bar so that he's like, the Undertaker's going to break my arm.
Would you rather him just try to do old school by itself without doing any of the character work? It would just be an old school.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, and then we'd be like, who does Ricky Saints think he is doing Undertaker's move? Whatever.
Yeah.
You can't win.
Also, I'd like to briefly go back to Eugene, because I spoke to him when he came down to Croydon of all places. Speaking of which, in November, Jushin Liger will be in Croydon.
Really?
Yeah, doing a signing or a show or something.
He's not wrestling, he's retired, so... Is he even going to wear the gear?
Yes, he is.
Oh, cool. Well, it could be anyone then. Spoiler, it's Dave in disguise. Dave has got a gig. He's going to be Jushin Liger that night.
I think you're between me and Jushin Liger's body shape.
Yeah.
A few years ago, I spoke to Eugene, like the guy, Nick Dismal.
Yeah.
He was saying how, like, everybody says he's a good wrestler, and like he is a good wrestler. I've seen like
Who,
wrestle
Eugene?
without before the yeah, like Nick Dismal before the character, and he said, like, because of the character, they wouldn't let him wrestle as he wanted, and plus, even if they wanted to, they couldn't bring it back now because of the gimmick being in, basically making fun of disabled people.
Well, yeah. They couldn't do a character like Eugene, but I saw it was Eugene coming out. I don't even think they said it was Eugene, but he came out as Doink the Clown and was beaten up by Chris Benoit. And Eugene's probably too old now anyway, and he might not be, but there's other people you could use. But if they did want to bring him back as a Doink, or just bring him back in as like a radically different... Look, Bray Wyatt, when the Wyatt family debuted, the audience chanted Husky Harris. So all they'd have to do is just get that, like, even on Raw, it was like, oh yeah, Cena, I'm Stardust. So, you know, if they wanted to move someone on from that, they could. But you do bring up a good point. How many times have we heard that, especially in WWE, and probably really only in WWE, they'll tell wrestlers not to wrestle certain styles, where it's like, oh, look, we saw that clip of Chavo Guerrero the other day, looking like $1 million in the ring.
Yeah.
And it's like he never could go like that in WWE. Taz, the human suplex machine, was just told to be a brawler in WWE, not do his suplexes. Like, loads of people. When you saw Hogan wrestling All Japan or whatever, and he's doing like like knee locks and takedowns and arm bars and stuff like this. It's like we never saw any of it. You know, there's probably a logic to it, but who knows? Dev?
And I just remember two things. Like,
What's the
speaking of
second
like
thing?
radically different characters, Festus, the NJPW champion. Festus, the NJPW tag champion.
So then, what?
Sorry, Festus became
Yeah.
the NJPW tag team champion.
Yeah.
He was because what was it? Not
Okay.
Coldness. What's the other one? What's his name? Festus' real name.
Luke Gallows.
Luke Gallows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Luke Gallows. He went to New Japan and became a tag team champion.
Yeah. He was also
And-
Kane for a short while.
Yeah.
You know.
Speaking of New
That
Japan,
guy's had a
like,
lot of gimmicks. Jesus Christ. You'll go through everyone says Brutus Beefcake had a lot of gimmicks, but yeah, he's not far off.
yeah.
Who's had the
Speaking of
most
New Japan-
gimmicks?
Chris Jericho.
Nah,
Yeah.
no, he's always Chris Jericho. Like, literally, Festus, Carl Anderson, Kane, they are completely different entities.
Hmm.
It could
Well, yeah,
be...
Carl Anderson's a different person. So
I
yeah.
was gonna say.
Oh,
if
shit,
I was
sorry, Luke Gallows. Yeah, Luke Gallows. I don't know.
Okay, so Gallows, he was like the, I think another OVW guy. He was
Yeah.
the freaking deacon, I believe, was one of his names on down there. So yeah, he did that. He did the fake Kane with that stupid storyline there
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, so is that it was Festus, as you say. Then he became Luke Gallows, who CM Punk saved because Festus was as a result of his bad drug habit. Then he was just Doc for a while in TNA, wasn't he? He was just Doc.
Yeah.
He was Doc Gallows in New Japan.
Yeah.
Came back from the he's in a few as well, but Brutus
Yeah.
most gimmicks in it.
Yeah. See, going back to New Japan and like 2002, the 2002 class, Shelton Benjamin was the only one that didn't become bigger in WWE. But in New Japan, if you see Shelton Benjamin in New Japan, he is amazing.
Yeah.
He was completely different, and is so much better than he was in WWE.
I don't know if I would just ever describe Luke Gallows as amazing in the ring in New Japan, but
No, Shelton Benjamin.
oh, Shelton Benjamin. Oh, sorry, I thought you were still talking about Gallows. Sorry.
No. I can't understand how Gallows has had such a long career, if I'm honest. Like,
AJ, literally AJ. They said it as part of AJ re-signing. He also wanted them to be re-signed as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but AJ's not responsible for him having that long career before then as well, though. That's just from that new run. I think because he just gets on. He just gets on with people backstage. He's a nice guy. He's
Yeah, I was gonna say.
like the boys. He's always like joking and things like that. You remember they did that?
Botchamania.
What did they do? That sort of, I guess we call it an outlaw mud show sort of thing they did on
Yeah. That's cool.
Oh yeah, the cheap pay-per-view thing they did with the
yeah, like that, yeah.
in the forest.
Yeah, so things like that. He makes people laugh. He's a
Two
guy
brothers
who's
thing, is it?
like to have around.
Yeah.
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 Okay, I've just asked AI which wrestler had the most gimmicks. The first one it came up with, I kind of disagree because I think there is a continuity between this, but it suggests Dustin Rhodes for the idea that he was Gold Dust, Seven, Black Rain, and then where it says the artist formerly known as still Gold Dust. So that's a few. But I think everyone knew that Black Rain was still Gold Dust.
Does American Nightmare count? He was American Nightmare as well. Back in WCW.
It's just a nickname, isn't it?
WCW.
It's like Cowboy
Well,
Bret
right.
Hart. It's still Bret Hart.
Bray White.
So Bray
Well,
was Husky, Bray the Fiend.
I think it's like three.
Burt Bray.
No near as amount as Brutus Beefcake. Brutus Beefcake, undoubtedly.
The Butcher, the Booty Man.
Booty Man.
Who else? Zodiac.
Zodiac.
Oh,
Brutus
God.
Beefcake.
Yeah.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake, because that was technically a different gimmick.
I guess.
But he was like,
I
he was
guess.
one of the Boulder brothers with Hulk Hogan, wasn't he?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Back then. Something, and he's the man with no face.
Oh,
With
yeah,
the
yeah.
random martial
Damn, I
that kept
forgot
going
that.
out and attacking people and then just disappeared. For no reason. He attacked Earthquake one week and that was it. He was
How
gone.
many does Kevin Nash have?
Oh, Kevin Nash is a good shout. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah,
Is Diesel
true.
Kevin Nash? Oh, Oz,
Kevin Nash,
Oz.
Oz, Master Blaster,
Vinny Vegas.
Vinny Vegas.
Yeah.
He's up there as well.
Okay, that's fair. there's got to be, because like some of them though, they feel like there's a crossover where, like if Brutus Beefcake suddenly said, "Oh, now I'm the Butcher," like does it count if like Earthquake, when Earthquake was Golga, that's a very different gimmick. But when he became Avalanche, it's the same thing. It's just a name change. I don't think it's a gimmick change.
Like, it's Sharp, wasn't he?
Shark, yeah.
And he had the big speech of the classic interview. So like, I'm a man. I'm not an avalanche. I'm not a fish. I'm a man. And John,
Yeah.
just maybe John Tender for a little while.
Who's had like only one gimmick ever? Like
Ricky
someone that's
Steamboat.
had a long career.
Ricky Steamboat.
He had two, because he had Ricky Steamboat and then Dragon.
The Dragon Ricky. Yeah, I guess that was some, because it was definitely a different presentation when he came out dressed as a dragon, and the Sting, even though there's different characters. So who?
You know, because he was Surfer then Crow.
Yeah.
And then he was
Yeah, it's true.
NWO,
See,
and then
these,
he was Wolfpack.
yeah, these are
Tito
different
Santana.
gimmicks, but
And
they're
then
not
Main
different
Event
characters.
Mafia, then Joker.
Yeah, in TNA.
He had like 5 gimmicks in DNA.
Tito Santana.
El Matador, that's different. El
That's it.
Matador. No, but El Matador is different than when he was in Strikeforce.
Carlito.
Yeah.
Carlito, I agree with.
Well, yeah.
He has
Carlito,
never
yeah.
changed. There's been zero progression of that ever. Yeah,
true, actually.
Carlito. Yeah, I agree that.
I Carlito this week.
Oh, Ray.
He was really funny.
Does Rey Mysterio count? Like he demasked, but he was still Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't count because Filthy Animal Rey Mysterio was really different to Luchador Rey Mysterio.
Well, kind of. He was just like he was a heel.
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart. I'm sure I can find a photo of Cowboy Bret Hart. I'll try that just for the sake of it. But yeah, I don't know. There was something from Dynamite that I thought was significant to talk about. Oh yeah, so did you see the clip from Dynamite, guys, where Adam Page and Swerve were like kind of reconciling their differences?
No.
Yeah, literally. I'll see if I can find the clip. So Swerve. It was something happened backstage where they just crossed each other, and obviously they hate each other. And the exchange between them was, you broke into my house, you burned down my house, you deserved it, says Swerve. And then Paige goes, I know. And then they just kind of stood there, where it's sort of like, oh, they kind of settling their differences.
Wow. Okay.
Now, I'll see if I can find it. I won't be able to play the audio. Adam Page Swerve. It'll probably come up with the old clip. And you stuck a needle through my face, right? So, I don't think that... Oh, yeah, here's the clip. Okay, I'll bring it up, but I won't be able to play the audio. Right. But I can tell you, it's basically the exact dialogue I just said here. It was interesting. Oh, shit, how do I make it small? Do I want to... I won't make it small. Right, so, anyway... So they're backstage. These Egg and Hammers are trying to hold them apart. And he's like, you burned down my house. You broke into my house. It's like, you deserved it. It's like, I know. And then look. Suddenly, all the jobbers are away. And he's like, I know I deserved it. So that's so interesting.
Is Swerve a heel or face?
Swerve is a face. And
Face.
Hangman is a face, a heelish. They're both heelish. Are there any faces or heels properly in AEW? Everyone's a heelish face.
Have you mentioned the Bret Hart clip of when he's talking about AEW wrestlers, saying that they're more actors pretending to be wrestlers and things like that?
Well, yeah. Dave, did you just see the clip though, or did you see on Dynamite Swerve and Hangman?
Page and Page and Hangman, Page and Swerve. Sorry,
they're putting their
don't
differences
see that,
behind. Yeah, I'll find. Well, again, I can't play the audio of the clip, but Dave, just tell us about it. I saw something about it.
He was asked about what you think about the state of wrestlers generally these days. He did say something quite interesting. That he said that a lot of people nowadays are emulating his style of wrestling rather than Hogan or Warrior and people like that, which I thought was quite interesting. But this basically said that he feels like a lot of time that in AEW in particular, they're trying to be actors more to do with their promos and things like that rather than being wrestlers. Don't necessarily completely agree with, but I see his point. And when you have things like that, but I don't mind that because I think it's because I know you're saying that are they good guys, are they bad guys, these two, and all that sort of stuff. I like it though because it's multi-layered,
Yeah.
and it's like it's this thing of like Swerve is still like the most dangerous man in the sport as he calls himself in there, and it has that sort of edge. But this the thing of like you need to get the middle of this argument, you know, saying you need to get over this. No, what do you mean I need to get over this? You burnt my house. You burnt my house down. So like, yeah, you deserved it. Yeah, I know. Like, huh? Wow, that's not happened to anything before. What? So that's the thing. And like Paige is like, and it's not the first time he's done this where he's sort of like has been taken aback by something. You know, he did that feud with Krista Daniels. He did when Daniels came out and said, "You won. You were the better man. But you put me out of action. I'm done. You won." And it's like he couldn't accept that was sort of it. He sort of didn't like the way it made him feel. And so it's just multi-layered. And I really love the dynamic of these guys.
Now,
and yeah,
I just give a couple of. I completely agree with what you're saying there, Dave. The storyline between them, what I didn't like is I didn't like a needle going through because you don't fake that. It was just they did that. I didn't like it. The visual of Hangman burning down the house, because what was quite cool is a few days earlier they'd shown something on social media where it's like, oh, Swerve's got a new house.
Yeah.
And we didn't realise that was just laying the groundwork for a storyline.
It wasn't just a new house, it was his old family house.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I almost feel like they should have let that breathe. They should have made a thing of that like a month earlier. You know, they could have, because they did it from like, oh, we showed this on a Tuesday and then on the collision or whatever, then he burns the house down or whatever. They kind of rushed that. They could have built into that more. That was fine because it was like, but again, like, where's the police involvement? You know, there are like problems there. But obviously building this up and then this exchange where they can find common ground again, there's always the weird logic of how can wrestlers who have tried to kill each other and made stuff so personal ever reconcile. I thought this was quite a good moment. Coming back to Bret Hart's comment though, the funny thing is, if you remember, on a similar note, Bulldog and Owen, they start fighting and Bret then comes down. He's like, no, stop it. You know, we shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be fighting them. And then Owen starts crying. That was them being actors, not wrestlers, you know. So, you know, as much as I'll defend Bret Hart, I think there are gaps because I think there's so much of like the funny thing is that like the best wrestlers are the best storytellers. It is crossing over into acting. You look at the SummerSlam '92, the ending. You look at the thing with after WrestleMania 12 where Bret was like hanging around and Shawn was like, get him the F out of here, this is my moment. And Bret was like, no, I need to have the moment where I'm looking back. This is the storytelling aspect.
And then he was there saying that Roman is his favourite. Who's the biggest storyteller ever? It's Roman now.
Oh my god, what was that thing? Do you remember a couple of months ago where they had Roman like meeting someone like in a, and it was like clearly like the camera angles were changing and there was only one camera there. It's like this is literally just acting. Do you remember that? Who was he doing this with? Was it with Punk?
Yeah.
Like leading into Survivor Series. And he did one like where him and Cody met in a football field or something.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
Dynasty is on this weekend. AEW.
Wow. Okay, let's bring up. I'll be honest. I wasn't aware of this.
I've got it here if you want me to do it.
Yeah, you go for it. Like I'll bring it up. Go for it. So I bring it up so we can see a visual.
Right, so these are all. I don't think anything's been spoiled for. There's nothing spoiled for Collision, so there's no spoilers here. So we've got AEW World Tag Team Title match: Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin against the Learning Tree, Big Bill and Brian Keith. Sort of tag team title filler match there.
That is that a pre-show match?
That's going to be on the pay-per-view.
Wow.
No pre-show matches have been announced as of yet.
Okay. Well, Hurt Syndicate are taking that one, surely.
Yeah, undoubtedly. Owen Hart Foundation men's tournament quarterfinal match. Will Ospreay against the newest signing, Kevin Knight. Who's very good.
I'll be honest, I don't know Kevin Knight. Is he any good?
He's literally just joined from New Japan. He's just been signed for AEW. So he's taking the place of Jay White, who got legitimately injured apparently before they had to write him off of storylines. Apparently that was going to be I would imagine this was going to be Will Ospreay against Jay White for the pay-per-view, which would have been awesome.
Just very quickly, have they announced the full brackets of the Owen? Let me just click on that. Okay, let's just quickly look at that before we move on.
As well.
So hang on, just 1 second. So 2025 men's and women's.
Yeah.
So let's give a little prediction for who's going to win this now. So Kevin Knight is replacing Jay White?
Jay White, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've got Brody King versus Konosuke Takeshita on that side.
Yeah. Briscoe,
Mark
Fletcher, and Hangman, and a to be confirmed.
Yeah, the wild cards. There's a wild card entrant.
Yeah.
No idea.
The wild card.
Any early predictions for who's going to win this?
I don't know who's going to win it, but my prediction for the wild card is Josh Alexander.
Oh, okay. Good pick.
Yeah.
Would that not... Marty. What about Christian?
Because he's the only one that can get in as a wild card, lose and still be okay.
So Josh Alexander, if he's going to debut as a wild card in this, doesn't he need to win it?
Yeah, you have to lose.
Not necessarily. Wasn't someone the wild card and still lost before? Was it Leo Rush or
your boy Johnny Progress? He debuted against Joe as a wild card, didn't he? It said Johnny. What was it? Johnny Elite or something like that, wasn't he?
Johnny Elite.
Ugh.
And everyone popped because they thought it was Johnny Gargano. And he came out and everyone like, hey! Oh.
That's funny. Okay, right, and let's have a quick look at the women's.
Jamie Hayter and Billy Starks, which is the match that Reed told all the Eve lot to go and watch last on Saturday. So rematch then. Thunder Rosa, Chris Statlander, Julia Hart, Mercedes Moné, which is going to be on Sunday's preview. Surely
Sasha's going to win it all then. She doesn't lose.
Yeah, probably. Harley Cameron versus Athena. Must see Athena back on AEW at last.
Yeah, I just have a weird feeling that Mercedes is going to win and just going to say is like, I'm going to rename the Owen the Eddie because he means more to me. Right.
She'll probably get a win just so because it's the big sort of stadium. It's the winners of that match. Those tournaments go on to All In, so they'll probably have that as the big women's match for the stadium show. Her against Tony Storm.
Yeah. Go on, Dev.
As a personal thing, I really want Julia Hart to win because it's an Owen Hart tournament. So
and she is his daughter, after all.
Yes. The newest Nepo baby.
Do you know what? Like, literally, how old is she? She probably wasn't even alive when he passed away.
20. This is like 20, 21.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, let's come back to the main card, Dave. Keep going.
Yeah, got TNT title match, Daniel Garcia versus Adam Cole. They've been doing this match for a little while now with various things. So one of them ended in no contest, one of them ended in a time limit. So there's no interference, no time limit on this one, and I could not care less about this match.
Has Adam Cole won a singles title in AEW?
No, not yet.
No.
That's insane. He's been there for like 3 years at least.
I don't think he will.
But he's been injured a lot.
Yeah, I know, but he main evented All in London, and it's just like the whole time he's been there, he's not won a singles title.
It feels like he's plummeted down the card as well since his return.
Well, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, from that thing, it's just plummeted down to doing TNT stuff and trios titles and sort of things like that. It's weird. That's how they did the whole thing with the Undisputed Kingdom, with all those guys being together and who's on what side and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And now it's like, we brought in Kyle now, and Adam Cole and Roddy are fine and all that sort of stuff. Where's Taven and Bennett? They've just disappeared.
Well, are they completely disappeared? Because like,
you two are off.
Look, Mike Bennett,
disappeared since that angle.
That's because Mike Kanellis, as he formerly known as, Maria left, and basically he is just he is Maria's valet throughout his career. He is a joke, basically. I don't mind not seeing him.
Fair enough. Trios title match, rated FTR challenging Death Riders. There's a feud going on, or angle going on now with Dax not being very. He's going off on temper tantrums and having to apologise, and so FTR are sort of on the verge of a break.
Oh, they should not do that.
Yeah. Three-way match for the international title. Kenny Omega defending against Ricochet and Speedball Mike Bailey, which should be
that'll be a good match. That'll be a very spot fest high flying match. Any predictions on any of these? We're just brushing past them. Death Riders probably still need to win if Moxley wins.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't see the point in Swerve winning at this stage, because we're going into... was it about a year ago Swerve won the world title?
Yeah, that's what they're sort of going on. It's like the Disney...
It is like a Disney story. I love Disney's Swerve Strickland. That's my favourite Pixar movie. He should win it back at Double or Nothing. He lost it at All In last year.
Yes.
He should win it back at Double or Nothing. You shouldn't. I honestly didn't even realise this pay-per-view was this weekend. He shouldn't win it here. No, there's going to be no eyes on it. Save it for Double or Nothing. Because Moxley shouldn't lose before Double or Nothing.
He won it at last year's Dynasty when there was supposedly no eyes on it. You know, they did have.
Yeah, but no eyes were on it. Literally no eyes were on it. As soon as Swerve won,
on it, no one was watching in the crowd.
Well, okay, not literally. Hyperbolically, no eyes were on it, right? But what I mean, it's when Swerve won it, it took them 3 months to actually start really pushing him, even though he was the world champion. So now there's often world title runs where someone, Punk's first world title run, he wasn't really world champion. A Jack Swagger world title run, or a Dolph Ziggler. Some of these world title runs. Chris Jericho's, yeah, absolutely, yeah. He wasn't really the main event. Sometimes someone has to be world champion. They don't have to, but for some reason it happens. They lose the world title again, and now they seem more credible going for it the second time.
Yeah.
And Swerve, he should win it at Double or Nothing if that's the direction they're going to go. And I don't know who else you put the belt on. Unless they're going to, again, reignite something with him and Hangman, and then kind of have it as a kind of both heelish babyface pay-per-view main event. But then I don't know what you do with Moxley and his Doom Scrollers group.
Well, yeah, the other option is obviously when it's All In, it's August, isn't it? I assume it's in Texas. And that's still still 4 months away. I don't know how much more of Moxley as a champion I can take. So I really want Swerve to win. I want Swerve to win. I know he probably won't. And the more likely idea is that the Ospreay will probably win the Owen and face Moxley at All In, or Swerve wins the title here and Hangman Page wins the tournament. And then we have Swerve versus Hangman again for the title this time.
There's history there, and even this one bit from last night kind of lays groundwork for them to do something there. Yeah.
You also have about the shows in between then as well, because like I say, Double or Nothing will be the next one, I'm assuming. But we've also got
Forbidden Door,
which is happening over here apparently. We've not heard anything about it.
No. Well, guys, have you seen the stuff? I haven't seen all the details to know about it, but stuff about that they've changed the time of All In because it's up against Saturday night's main event and stuff like that. Yeah. That's crazy. They shouldn't be doing that. They changed everything about the Australian pay-per-view, so suddenly it just became a TV show. And yeah, they just need to be careful about doing stuff like this, because obviously, did All In Texas, is that still a stadium show, or did they downgrade it?
It's a stadium show, so I don't think there's any downgrading that's happened there.
Okay, that's good.
So we actually missed another match, actually. It's a women's world title match, Toni Storm against Megan Bayne. I assume it's Toni Storm's going to win that one, I assume.
Yeah.
It's been booked very well and very dominantly.
Yeah. Storm hasn't been champion for long enough again to lose it again.
Yeah.
They're probably going to do like a cinematic David versus Goliath thing because Megan Bain is huge.
Yeah.
Really? How huge?
Like very, very tall.
Yeah.
What are we talking? Matt Morgan size here? Is it Matt Morgan?
Compared to Tony Storm, maybe, yeah. But
Yeah.
She's 5'8". What are we talking about? I just clicked on her. She's 5'8".
Really?
Yeah.
How tall is Tony Storm?
Okay, well, let's have a look. Tony Storm. She might be Diddy, actually. So let's have a look.
no, they're going to 5'11".
She's 5'6". Right, no, Megan, look, I'm going to go by Wikipedia. Maybe, it says, look, build height 5'8". Like her headdress
I've got
here.
Page match on here. 5'11". She's a 6 footer.
Oh, okay, I'll take your words for it, guys. Okay, guys, I'll check for any other breaking news or stuff. Or was there any?
There is some accusations, allegations, or whatever.
Oh.
There's a whole drama about Booker T canceling
Really?
a podcast, and the podcaster going, "Why did you train like a sex offender?" And there's this whole drama about
Who?
on Twitter, Booker T.
No.
So this
Who
guy,
did he train?
No, the trainer he's been photographed at a training session that, you know, a lot of these guys like Booker T sort of standings, they'll do guest seminars at various training schools and things like
Yeah.
that, and he's pictured at one that's run by this guy called Jason Rance, who has been really is a lot of dodgy stuff been accused, and he's been convicted of as well with stuff like this, yeah, not by all rights should not really be in the position he's in, but he's like a trainer, and there was a picture taken of him in there, and it said, "Look, I go to a lot of these things, so not I don't know it back then."
I've got the exact quote here. In fact,
Yeah,
it says,
things like that.
"Guest trainer at hundreds of schools, and I don't conduct background checks on every trainer or individuals I've crossed paths with."
Yeah. So,
Yeah, because the guy that dug it up is a guy called Vlad, who Booker T cancelled.
Isn't
on
that
his
the
podcast.
guy that was in the audience? Yeah.
Oh, I saw
Literally,
this thing. Yeah. Booker T screenshot the messages he kept trying to say. And so, like, "Hey, you want to come on my podcast? Come on my podcast. Please come on my podcast." And Booker's like, "Thanks, but no thanks." And he's like, "Oh, why? Why do you want to do it? Why want to do it?" It's this pleading DMs that he's been
So
on
he
there.
got angry and like tried to cancel him for cancelling on.
Why is he trying to cancel Booker T?
Because he said no to the podcast.
Oh, that's stupid. Okay, well, yeah. It's still Miro Day. I don't know if there's anything else going on.
Mick Foley.
Mick
Foley,
yeah.
car crash.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Isn't that so on point though for who he is? You saw that car. He's a hardcore legend.
And his music. That's not
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the other thing I saw there? I forgot what it was now. Current veteran. Akira Tozawa is teasing retirement. So,
Oh no, I don't know what I'll ever do.
Saying that though, he's another victim of WOD because he's a really good wrestler, saddled with a WWE gimmick.
I'm
You know
sure.
what?
See, here's the thing. Like, we know that so many of these wrestlers are good because how many times have like people been Daniel Bryan was fired. If people didn't know that he was really big on the indies and he'd just been fired and then never come back and then became a big star, people would have never known that he was good. There's so many people that can do a lot more than what we ever get to see them do.
Don't forget though, Tozawa's a survivor. He's been in WWE since the Cruiserweight Classic.
Wow.
And 205 Live and all that stuff. That was nearly 10 years ago. You think about it.
Yeah.
He's been there a long time, and he survived a lot of that, more than a lot of those guys from that period have done.
Also,
just because he is entertaining and does they want him to do. He's funny. Does his silly little things and things like that. He couldn't keep on doing the Dragon Gate style that he was doing for like all that time. He's very, very good. I saw why they signed him. But, yeah, just the fact they've managed to keep him on as long as they have done.
Does anyone know anything about this story here? There's this post. I'm just trying to see if there's any story, breaking news or anything. But it says here, a body double of Don Callis keeps showing up on Dynamite every week. Is this a storyline or is this a fan?
No, this is a fan. He showed up last week. He showed up this week as well. I came over and whispered over to him. So like, they asked him on commentary. So like, I thought you were in the front row, Don. I was like, I didn't see, but yeah, he said over there. He said like,
is he worried? Is this a stalker? Like, what's
I
going?
really appreciate this this attempt at mockery. That's what he risked apparently.
That's
Speaking
awesome.
of Don Callis, did he really invent Ultimate X, or is that storyline?
Invent what?
Ultimate X,
Oh, Ultimate X. What's that?
Ultimate
the
X.
TNA match.
Ultimate X. Sorry, I thought you meant Ultimate. I thought you meant like a man that works in an altar, like at a church. Ultimate
No.
X. I was like, who is this guy? Deacon Batista, Ultimate X. Yeah, go on.
Oh, I want a wrestler now called Ultimate X. That's
Yeah, he should be.
Speaking of that, like,
Father of False Boy Luke. From years ago.
Who's Altar Boy Luke?
I would like indie wrestler from the US years ago.
I was going to say, I recognise the name, actually. Yeah.
What were you going to say, Dev?
tangentially related to that, it reminded me. The SmackDown nearly had a X-Men gimmick, like back in 2009. They had a British wrestler called Hayde Vanson
Yeah.
cut a promo on The Undertaker and promising to bring his army to attack The Undertaker. And then they cancelled it.
Would you have ever encountered Hayde Vanson? Because they were probably around at the time you probably started training and things like that. I don't know if you.
Oh, sorry,
like-
Hayde Vanson. Did you ever encounter him in your time?
Can't think of the name. No.
I recognise
I remember this. It just popped up on SmackDown once. This promo that was making. It wasn't directly addressing Undertaker, but it was going to be an Undertaker sort of thing. And apparently Vince was like, "What the fuck was that?" and just cancelled it, and they fired the guy straight away. It was just like it was just this mysterious thing, and it never appeared again. It was never referred to again or anything like that. And this is British stuff that Hayde Benson that was, and he quit the business after that because it was just like it was completely.
What year was this?
Like 2007.
Oh,
Yeah,
He was-
08, 09, he would have been.
He was in FWA before.
Yeah, FWA, that sort of area.
Okay, I've got the clip. Let's bring it up. But again, we have to put the shield up.
Yeah, very, very bizarre time.
So a message from Hayde Vanson.
Yeah.
Nah, okay, this doesn't win me over.
That's familiar.
Okay, there was one other thing I just found. I've lost it now. What was I found? Oh, okay, yeah. Before we wrap up, look, I'm going to have to keep getting this shield up. Right, if there is one thing that is worth seeing, again, apparently 2 years ago today, Shane McMahon made his triumphant return. And The Miz had got no freaking idea what... Look at The Miz, got no idea what to do.
And the cameraman tells Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. I don't like the part of the story where the cameraman... But still, Snoop's... He stood up and he did it. But The Miz is so clueless.
Someone
it's
tells
insane.
Snoop to hit him.
Yeah, look. But all watching this, boom! Snoop just handled it. Okay, now the crowd, yeah, it got everyone back into it.
And then Snoop just wins the match. It wasn't in.
How screwed was Shane? Was this the very last time we saw Shane McMahon?
Yeah, he blew his quads.
Yeah. Snoop didn't know he was getting a match at WrestleMania. I hope they bumped his pay.
You know what? It's karma for trying to book himself over Brock.
Who,
He's the
Snoop?
greatest wrestler in the world.
Oh no, Shane.
Shane.
Yeah.
Oh, this is awesome.
Leaving the Snoop advice to Snoop Dogg to improvise and save the segment.
Yeah. It's like, okay, now it's a match. How do you have an impromptu match with a celebrity on a WrestleMania? Look at this. How did someone tell him do the people's elbow? Like, who fed him this? This was perfect.
This must have been part of the thing for afterwards.
Do you remember? Oh, so funny. Do you remember when he had a match in AEW and he like did a frog splash? And it was the best frog splash ever. Okay, what was Miz thinking in that moment? He's like,
he was thinking my career's over.
No, or was he thinking this is so cool?
He's a former WWE champion. Beat John Cena, and Snoop Dogg does that to him.
Yeah.
It's like,
Two punches in a people's elbow. Ah, that was brilliant. Right, guys, let's begin to wrap this up today. We'll have more as we get closer and closer to WrestleMania, the match, and also like we'll follow up on. I'll try to see Dynasty this weekend. Then didn't realize it was going on. Yeah, and we'll cover all this and so much more. Same bat time, same bat channel. Although again, I don't know what day is it. What day are we this week? It's Thursday. Yeah, I said about it being Tuesday, and then I only remembered, Dave, early in the week. The audience. I was just like, shit, are we doing a show tonight? And you're like, no, you didn't. You gave us like an hour's notice. So fine, we'll do it someday. I'll try to aim for it earlier if people can do it. But anyway, let's find out where people can find everyone. Dev, where can the people find you?
You find me on TikTok and Twitch on the name F3DAT.
Shit. Yeah, go on. Go ahead.
My
Sorry.
recommendation is at the end of the month at the TNA pay-per-view. It's going to be the Hardys versus the Nemeths or the Zigglers.
Yeah. Okay. Now, guys. Now, I'm not saying we're like the Four Horsemen here, but I have just noticed something, and we need some sort of hand signal, which is going to be some version. Maybe it's going to go like proper old school, Desmond Wolfe or whatever, right? The third letter of all of our names is the letter V. There is something in this. We have Dev, Gav, Dave, and David. So we're the V Squad or something. I don't know.
Gen V.
Gen V. Isn't that the Boys spin-off?
The boys, yeah.
X and the V's. There we are.
Oh my god, there we go. We've got it. That's it. Okay. Dave, where can the people find you?
You can find me. Deb, we've obviously seen you on a clip from Progress Wrestling's past. And if anyone wants to try and find it, you can see me dressed as a Progress wrestler in the Halloween audience. On a very early chapter 30 something. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but yeah, from the old days of Progress Wrestling. Yeah, dressed up as Zach Gibson from the Grizzled Young Veterans. So that's fun. So try and find that clip if you can. Yeah, find me at Degrino or David Jervis Green everywhere on social medias. Also find me part of the LAPD Improv Police. We've got some shows coming up, so please have a look out for them. And also as part of at Southend 48thon, which is the Southend 48-hour Improvathon, which is happening on the last weekend of this month. And yeah, follow that to get details of how to see it and how to support it.
Awesome. Gav.
I'm easy. Here next week.
Okay, fab.
That's it. I'm done.
Okay, still trying to find a Nintendo somewhere.
Yes.
Online. Okay, all right.
Any suggestions?
Yeah, like put it in the chat. I'm gonna order I'll be like, Gav, I found one on Amazon. That's £700.
Yeah, bring it.
No, man, I wouldn't do that. Right, okay, my name is David Pistansky. You'll find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Pistansky, spelled Pustansky. Follow Slam Jam on all of the platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, X, and so on and so forth. And with that, until next time, stay safe, always stay extremed, keep slamming and jamming. Boom, and we're off the air. Only two of us remembered the gimmick already.
Oh yeah.
It didn't